So why kelp? Why is kelp so important? Why is it such a hot thing right now that people are talking about it so much? I mean, it is a new product. People are doing it as a foliar spray. They're doing it, talking about it as a soil amendment, talking about feeding it to cows to increase the mineralization of both the soils and the cow's diet. But what are the actual advantages of kelp? Well, kelp, pretty cool. Has some plant hormones in it. And one of those hormones causes branching, and another hormone causes fruiting. And so you have an increase in branching, and so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, like at least 4 branches. Yeah, 4 branches at least off that one thing. And then down here below, there's a single branch where we originally started out. So before I sprayed the liquid kelp, it's a tongue twister. Before I sprayed the liquid kelp, it was single branching, and then afterwards it was multi-branching, and it seemed to just increase in fruit. And I'll show you what it looks like here in a second. But it also increases drought tolerance. It also increases the ability for it to hold water. And the salts, the concerns that people have are like, what about the salt? The salt is not intense, and I know I've talked about, gypsum and salting the earth and all those types of things, but this is not like that. It's subtle. This is why people are using C90. They're using sea minerals, basically condensed seawater as an amendment in their irrigation. And up to a certain point, all these things have extreme benefit. As a foliar amendment, it's just all benefit. And in fact, with grape cultivation, with viticulturists, if you're not spraying and causing this branching to happen, you're not getting a guaranteed boost. And so they see it as leaving money on the table if you do not spray your fields with liquid kelp. So people are like, being like, I've wild harvested kelp here. What should I do with it? You could chop it on up. You could put it through a mulcher. You can make it so it's a soil amendment. You could, the thing is, you're not going to get it down to a foliar spray probably at home unless you're fermenting it in a bunch of things or composting it with a bunch of things. You could take a bunch of it and put it in the center of your compost heap, let that get really hot, get really going, and you'll have some great results. But it's more like you've got to be strategic with it when you're getting it whole foraged from the ocean, from the coast. But these foliar sprays, these amendments, are really tying up the erosion, the nutrient loss, the soil loss. As Robert Plant, of Led Zeppelin said, mountains flow into the sea, and it's indeed true. Because all those nutrients, all that soil, all that eutrophication, right? The too many nutrients, too much carbon in the ocean coming from the soils that are running off into the ocean and making those dead zones. Those areas, that's too much nutrient. We can start doing these upwellings. We can start doing kelp, fields on this, arrays on the outside of these areas, and start soaking up those nutrients and start upstream, stopping this, permaculture, soil care, soil management. But then also all the way downstream, we could be pulling those nitrates, those phosphates out of the water with aquaculture, so that when it does get down to the dead zones, we're already lowering that payload so that we can take it in easier, and we can start healing those areas and bringing them back. So this is participating in this whole healing. We're stopping soil erosion. We're taking back the nutrients that were lost in this, thousands and thousands of years of man-made, but then millions and millions of years of just natural erosion. Because there is tons of natural erosion. There's a natural erosion rate to soil and rock. Right? And that's okay. We just have to understand that we are healing this. We are bringing this loop back. And this is just what nature does. I mean, we talk about the classic example. There's a National Geographic video on goats. I believe it was in Ireland, and they would go down to the coast and they would eat the seaweed that was there, and then they would go back inland, and their manure would then be remineralizing the soils, fertilizing the soils, and we can do that too. We can bring these things back. We can digest them maybe perhaps in our compost heaps, or in a batch of EM with biochar and a sealed container, or there's so many ways to do this. But the amazing thing is the solubilized liquid kelp it just readily absorbs in the plants. There's really not like a digestion process that you really need, but you can add it to your compost tea and actually make your compost tea much, much more sophisticated. So keep these things in mind. I'm gonna be talking about all this and more in the new course, Permaculture, Soil Science, and Solutions. It is for sure happening. It's a 12-week course. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're like, Matt, your channel's exploded into the soil stuff, and I just feel like I need to start at the beginning. Where's the beginning of all this? If you just want a few skills, just to start out, there's the mini course option, but then there's the Introduction to Soils, which is an in-depth four-week course. Another tongue twister. And it's incredible. If you have wanted to take the advanced permaculture student line but felt that was too much, but you've wanted to access the soil science in it, you should check out the Introduction to Soil that I have in this Kickstarter. It sounds like Intro to Soil. It sounds, this is Intro to Advanced Soil Science, Intro to Permaculture Soil Science. So check that out. Even if you're just, you've taken a PDC, you've taken my gardening course, taken my, Permaculture Student Online course, you've got your certification. This course, this intro is perfect for you. It is that advanced. So get excited, check out the link down below and join us. These courses are gonna dive so deep. If you're in advanced, you've taken Elaine's courses, you've taken some Korean natural farming courses, maybe you've been studying all this on your own, and you feel like you understand it all, dive deeper with us in the advanced course. We're gonna be having Dan Kittredge, we're gonna be having Chris Trump, Elaine Ingham. We're gonna go into all the controversial areas and we're gonna disambiguate them. And we're gonna talk about the real science, the real connections, the deeper connections, and the amazing fluency that we can all have. So let's do this. The campaign today, actually I woke up, it was last night in the middle of the night, it was completely funded. So this is going to happen. You've given me the time, you've given me the budget to pay for the books, and it's gonna happen now. So if you'd like to join us, you want to check out these amazing courses, you want to check out these amazing books, because there's a teacher's guide with lesson plans, with curriculum, standards-based. We're going to go all the way. It's going to be amazing. So this can be taught colleges, high schools. You can start doing your own classes on soil in your local area because you have the curriculum. It's standards-based. You can get your soil certification through me as well. So get excited and get involved. This is Permaculture, Soil Science, and Solutions. So check out the link. I'm Matt Powers. Thank you so much for watching. Grow abundantly, learn daily, and live regeneratively. And I'll see you soon.